Okie dokie. Today we're going to learn about the monad or monad. Either way, I'm going to butcher a lot of these old terms, so just roll with it. Anyways, the monad is an ancient philosophical and theological principle that has roots with Pythagoras. He first conceptualized this whole idea. We'll also cover how Plato developed it further, using it to describe the highest good, the very pattern that shapes our existence. Then we're going to touch on Plotinus, whatever, who expanded on the monad as the ineffable one, the source of all life and reality, transcending categories we know. And then we'll examine the monad's role in Gnosticism, where it's envisioned as the ultimate divine principle opposed to the material world. All right, let's do this. Let's get it on. I'm still trying to figure out kind of like a beginning to this whole thing. What is the monad? Well, its origin is from the Greek monas, which denotes unity and singularity. In a world that thrives on diversity and complexity, the idea of an ultimate singular entity might seem abstract, yet it underpins some of the most profound philosophical thought. The monad represents a cornerstone in the foundation of philosophical and theological systems as the indivisible foremost entity. It is not just an essential part of the system, it is the essence of all being. To consider the monad is to examine the very beginning of existence, the seed from which all complexity sprouts. It serves as a point of origin, a pure form of oneness without division and without end. Through this, the universe is not an endless array of separate fragments, but an expression of one fundamental element. This singular concept invokes a sense of unity at the very heart of existence, an indivisible point where all things begin and ultimately end, or converge. The monad's earliest emergence in the realm of philosophical thought was with Pythagoras. It is here that the ideas of the monad as the very core of being first take shape. Transforming this idea, along with Pythagoras, Plato adopted the monad and gave it a fresh nuance. Plato speaks of the monad as the ultimate good, the pure, the form of good. It is the sublime blueprint, the ideal pattern on which all of existence is modeled. The highest good is unreachable by humans, living only in the realm of forms, yet it influences everything, providing order and purpose to the cosmos. Through Plato's interpretation, the monad becomes more of a concept. It is a beacon of perfection, the North Star guiding the imperfect material world towards a noble semblance of the divine template. The concept of the monad gains new depth and complexity with the philosophical insights of Plotinus, a distinguished figure in the Neoplatonic tradition. Plotinus takes us further into the realm of metaphysical understanding as he interprets the monad as the very essence of the one. Originating from the Hellenistic philosophy, Neoplatonism is a school of thought that builds upon and goes beyond the teachings of Plato. Plotinus, its most prominent advocate, brings forth a hierarchy of existence, at the pinnacle of which sits the monad, resplendent and unfathomable. To him, the monad is the ultimate source, an absolute existence that is beyond description, beyond understanding, and indeed beyond being itself as we might understand it. Plotinus's monad is not an entity that can be easily defined in the language of human intellect. It is ineffable, without attributes or qualities that we can truly comprehend. In a brilliance of philosophical poetry, Plotinus describes the monad as a fount of life and reality, from which all things flow. He paints it as the center of all, transcending material existence and even the very concept of existence as we conceive it. This monad is a principle of pure actuality without division, multiplicity, or distinction, an indivisible singularity. It represents the ultimate simplicity. It is the source of all complexities in existence. In Neoplatonism, understanding the monad becomes a pathway to recognizing the unity of all living things, a unity that goes beyond the surface level separations that are apparent to us in everyday experiences. It is in Plotinus's profound and often complex texts that we glimpse the shimmering light of the monad, a presence that can only be approached through the journey of the soul towards a unity with the ineffable. It stands apart from the cosmos, yet it is the cosmos's beginning and its ultimate cause. The monad, as conceived by Plotinus, beckons us to seek that which lies beyond our normal sensory and cognitive reach, inviting a contemplation that takes us to the very edge of thought and existence. In the intriguing streams of Gnostic thought, the concept of the monad emerges as a paramount force, a beacon of spiritual light distinct from the dense fabric of the material world. Unlike the tangible and flawed earthly domain we navigate, the monad in Gnostic belief represents the unseen, the pristine and original spark from which the spiritual universe bursts forth. Not just an origin point. The monad in Gnosticism is esteemed as the absolute, the very pinnacle in the hierarchy of divine beings or eons or aeons. It's akin to a pure fount, from which flows the essence that constitutes the fabric of every spiritual being, a contrast to the demiurge, highlighting a rift between the material plane and the profound spiritual sphere. This dichotomy stands at the heart of Gnostic cosmology, where the monad's light, unlike the flawed creations of the demiurge, is unblemished and resplendent. Its presence represents the ultimate ideal, the root of a cosmic tree whose branches spread into an ethereal realm of existence. Within the folds of Gnosticism, the monad presents a sanctuary of tranquility and peace, a realm uncorrupted by the physical, and stands as an ideal, urging seekers to look beyond the surface and find solace in the underlying truth of the universe, the spiritual reality of the monad, the sublime and original cause of all. In the realm of ancient thought, there lies a powerful contrast between the sublime monad and the demiurge, the creator of our tangible world. So what sets these two entities apart? The monad is the ultimate embodiment of spiritual and divine perfection, an entity so pure and perfect that it exists beyond our physical reality. This notion of the monad hails from a place of complete flawlessness, untouched by the complexities and imperfections of our material existence. In contrast, the demiurge is often portrayed as the imperfect craftsman of the physical universe. While the monad is the source of all that is spiritual and incorruptible, the demiurge is perceived as less than perfect, with a limited understanding of the true essence of existence. To Gnostics, the demiurge fashioned this physical world that we experience, but did so without the sublime knowledge or the pure essence of the monad. This juxtaposition paints a vivid image of two entities, one an icon of absolute purity, and the other the flawed shaper of the earthly domain we inhabit. In the vast landscape of philosophical and spiritual belief systems, one of the most captivating ideas is the monad's role as the radiant source of all eons. Picture the monad, the singular supreme essence from which spirals an array of divine entities. These are the eons. These eons in Gnostic thought aren't just random emanations. They embody a profound balance, materializing in pairs known as ziggies. Each pair harmonizes a duality encompassing concepts that seem to oppose yet complete each other. Much like the familiar dance between a male and female, consider the introspective silence, which could only be appreciated alongside the vast immensity represented by depth, allowing us to grasp the incredible nature of our cosmos. Every pair emanates successfully from the monad, and each duo represents an aspect of its boundless power and wisdom. Through these emanations, the monad, in its unreachable sanctuary of divinity, breathes life into the spiritual fabric of our universe. It is an intricate process, a silent symphony of creation, where the monad's whisper subtly carves the fundamental structures of our existence. The implication here is that all life, all reality, ripples out from the singular undivided principle, the monad. This venerable concept invites us to envision our universe not as a collection of separate entities, but as varied expressions of one ultimate source. Now, to try to comprehend the monad is like trying to capture the vastness of the cosmos in the palm of your hand. It's an entity that eludes the grasp of our language and intellect because it exists beyond the parameters that dictate our physical world. This ancient concept challenges us to confront the limitations of our understanding, presenting us with an enigma that's simultaneously close to the heart of existence and impossibly distant. The ancient sages and philosophers described the monad as ineffable, ultimately indescribable, not because they lacked the vocabulary, but because human expression is inadequate to encapsulate its magnitude. It's a presence that transcends thought and form, a foundation of reality that doesn't adhere to the constructs we know, like space and time. This notion of the monad invites us to a state of contemplation and wonder that goes beyond the boundaries of our conventional wisdom. The relationship between the monad and the demiurge is essential for understanding our reality. It imbues our material existence with the touch of the divine, mostly indirectly. This influence of the monad is a testament to the link to creation. For without it, the cosmos as perceived through Gnosticism, could not exist. The very heartbeat of existence pulses from this singular point, the monad. It stands as the wellspring from which the diverse stream of life flows, a fountainhead teeming with the potential of all that is. Every thread of reality, no matter how varied or distant, traces its lineage to this source, just as a myriad of streams ultimately converge into one encompassing ocean. The monad unites the complexity of existence under its vast dominion. It is the origin, the silent whisper that echoes through the cosmos, the call that beckons every form of life to reunite with its primal essence. The journey of souls, of matter and spirit, of every fragmentary piece of the universe is a voyage toward reunification with the monad. As we navigate the philosophical implications of this concept, we see the monad not merely as a distant abstract principle, but rather as the ultimate destination, the home to which all forms of existence strive to return. This pursuit of oneness with the monad is the unnoticed rhythm guiding the dance of life, inspiring a universal longing for a return to that which is all-encompassing and eternally complete. The salvific role of the monad is one of the most uplifting and hopeful aspects of Gnostic thought. Gnostic texts depicted the monad not just as a distant originator, but as a beacon of ultimate salvation, a spiritual lighthouse guiding the soul's journey back to its primal oneness. The pursuit of knowledge and an understanding of the monad represents a path to spiritual liberation. By attuning one's inner self to the monad, one engages in a transformative process, shedding the constraints of the material world. This inner enlightenment allows for the soul's ascent from the transient to the eternal, marking a return to the divine source from which it emerged. It is through this unification with the monad that souls are believed to reclaim their purest state, achieving a sanctified and enduring existence. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I read this with Matt Berry's voice in my head, and try it out. It's hilarious. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. If you like it, hit that subscribe button for us. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.